possibility, but yeah, I think little bro just little bro really don't want to get in it. Like, no funny. I'm not even playing, bro. Like, no funny. I really think he don't want to get in there. That shit really throwing me off. Who fucking knows, bro? Who fucking knows? The nigga just gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Until further notice, we still got hope.
Tank Davis, he got arrested. I mean, any thoughts on that one?
You did, huh? Again?
Yeah, again.
Hey, look, I actually like Tank Davis. He's a good, he's a good kid. He's a good fighter, a great fighter, actually. He's one of my favorites. Just get your... That's it, basically. Just shit, you don't hit women, man.
Gervonta Davis is backing out of his rematch with Roach, and now the entire buildup is starting to fall apart with each passing hour. The fight between Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. feels less like a real title bout and more like a ghost match that was never going to happen. Roach, who had stayed hopeful despite weeks of silence and warning signs, has finally acknowledged what many already believe. Davis no longer seems interested in making the fight happen.
Davis is obviously not going to happen. The date has been constantly pushed back. I want to say they were supposed to fight sometime in June, July, something like that. Then it got pushed all the way to August. And now it looks like it's probably not going to happen this year. With Gervonta, being, in and out of jail due to alleged domestic abuse against his girlfriend. It sucks, man. It sucks because, when you get associated with, domestic abuse, unfortunately, as a man, you're going to have to live.
Things began to spiral when Davis was arrested in Miami on a misdemeanor battery charge. He was released the next day after posting bail. But that did little to calm the storm the moment legal issues came into play. Roach's confidence in the rematch began to fade. Where he was once optimistic and trusting that contracts would be signed and everything would move forward, he quickly shifted to frustration and started speaking out about the delays. Now, when Roach talks about the situation, it is no longer with irritation, but with fatigue. On Thursday, he went live and held nothing back, painting the picture of a fighter who feels misled and ignored for far too long. He openly said, "I just think this dude doesn't want to fight." And that one line landed harder than anything from a pre-fight press event. It was not a casual comment, but a raw and honest statement from someone who has put months of focus and hard work into this one shot. Roach no longer seems concerned with the result of the fight. He just wants it to happen so he can finally show what he believes he is capable of.
Again, and he keeps saying he doesn't love boxing no more, and he don't want to be involved anymore. Lamont Roach might just have his number. That familiarity that they have from being in the amateurs in the DMV area, it might just be the determining factor. One of the determining factors, along with his great in the pocket skills that he's displayed throughout the duration of his career and in their first fight, as to why Tank can't beat him. So if Lamont Roach...
But now the fight is no longer a sure thing. Davis still has not signed the contract, and the window to make it official is closing quickly. Roach made that clear too. He has not let go of the frustration, especially when it comes to the unsigned bout agreement. He admitted it is getting to him, and anyone watching could feel the emotion in his voice. Roach is not just disappointed that the fight might fall through. He is crushed because he did everything right. He stayed in shape, stayed available, followed the process, and even played the political game behind the scenes. But in the end, he has gotten nothing in return.
Gervonta Tank Davis, his fight is been pushed out against Lamont Roach. Is possibly canceled due to what's going on with Gervonta Davis outside the ring and all that stuff. My take is that the fight has been rescheduled from when? I mean, from my understanding, Gervonta didn't even sign the contract for it. So the fight was never really confirmed in the first place. Should Lamont Roach move on?
During his stream, Roach called it exactly what he believes it is. He thinks Davis is afraid to face him again. There was no sugarcoating it. Roach said Lil really does not want to get in there. And it was not said with ego, but with disbelief in his view. This is no longer about contracts or negotiations. It is about a champion who does not want to take the risk. That idea has been lingering ever since their first fight ended the way it did, but now it is no longer a quiet rumor. It is being said out loud by the man who was promised a second chance.
Tank Davis, somebody you've had some interaction with on social. What do you make of maybe the lack of discipline or arrest?
Lack of discipline. Lack of discipline. Is that what you want to put it down to?
Yeah.
More than lack of discipline. Yeah. It's vile.
I mean, I don't condone that at all in the slightest. So it's not got nothing to do with lack of discipline. It's got everything to do with moral compass. And for me, that's just, yeah.
The tension has only grown worse with the silence from Davis's camp. No updates, no explanations, no response at all. Just complete quiet while Roach keeps training, waiting, and holding on to hope. And when you look at everything together, the arrest, the unsigned contract, the lack of communication, it stops feeling like a delay and starts to look like a deliberate freeze-out. Roach has tried to keep his composure, but flashes of emotion still break through, showing how deep the frustration runs. I was looking sharp this morning, he said during his stream, sharp as a Ginsu, but that sharpness means nothing if Davis never shows up. The hardest part is knowing Roach kept his side of the deal. He stayed prepared, he never pulled out, he never vanished. And now he is left talking to fans on a live stream, trying to explain a fight that was never even signed in the first place.
How you think the one coming up with
I
Tank
hope he
and
don't
Roach?
fight Lamont, actually. Like, I hope he don't get in the ring with him again. Because at the end of the day, if he lose, it's just going to look bad on the fight with me. So, it's going to look like somebody else already did it. I don't know.
You want Tank to knock you out, yo. I heard him say, like, yo, I want to fight Tank, and that's nice, but why do you want Tank to knock you out so bad? Like,
Look. That sound good. That sound real good, but she's too little.
Too little.
I promise you.
Not long after Roach's live stream, boxing insider Rick Glazer added fuel to the fire with a short but powerful post on his X account. He confirmed what many had feared: the August 16th date is officially off the table. There was no speculation, no vague wording. The Tank Davis Lamont Roach PBC card is not happening on August 16th. That one line shifted the discussion from will it happen to will it ever happen, and then Glazer confirmed what Roach had already revealed: Tank Davis never signed the bout agreement for the rematch. That single detail explained everything about the delays and confusion. You cannot have a fight without signatures, and Tank never picked up the pen.
Yeah, man, I just want to say to let the people know that this judge is crazy, bro. This judge is, she locked me up because basically I bought a property. I did everything in my power to listen to my lawyers.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
To the home detention people. I listened to everybody to the T. She's mad that I bought a property. That's why I'm sitting in jail. She said that.
Glazer also shared something that Roach had been hinting at for weeks. Davis does not want the rematch. Glazer wrote that he was told Tank does not want to fight the very tough Roach again. And that one sentence may say more than any official press release. It explains everything: the delay, the silence, the complete lack of urgency. It pulls back the curtain and confirms what Roach had already started to suspect. Davis is not being indecisive. He is being evasive. If Davis truly intended to take this fight, it would have already been signed and locked, and there is no reason for a champion at his level with full access to resources and a ready-made August card to hesitate unless there is something he wants to avoid. And from Roach's point of view, that something is clear: Davis does not want to take on the same challenge again. Maybe it is strategic, maybe it is personal, but the rematch no longer feels like part of his plan.
I don't even know how to start this shit off because y'all gonna be mad as shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I just think this nigga don't want to fight. I'm gonna put point blank and simple like that. Remember when I told y'all when I tweeted the whole motherfucking he ain't hold up his end of the, you know, whatchamacallit? He still ain't get past that. So that shit, like, that shit getting me mad, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
It is especially frustrating for Roach, who does not have the same safety net. Davis can walk away and still land other fights, other opponents, and other paydays. Roach does not have that kind of luxury. This rematch was his moment, the chance he trained for, sacrificed for, and fully committed to, and now, with everything hanging by a thread, he is the one left scrambling to adapt. For now, there is no official update from the promoters about a new date or whether the rematch is completely off the table. But with the original fight just weeks away and Davis still showing no commitment, the writing is starting to appear clearly on the wall. Even if something happens at the last minute and Davis decides to move forward, the damage is already done.
I think at this point in time, Lamont Roach needs to make a business decision ASAP. You can either wait around and let Tank Davis stall out your career, or you can make a big fight right now. And if I'm Lamont Roach, I'm calling Shakur Stevenson saying right now, listen, I want my get back in Tank. I want to go fight him. I know I beat him the first time, but listen, I can't trust that man. At the end of the day, I want us to stay active. I want to get back in that ring, and I want to make money. And you know who you call who I know is going to take that fight? Shakur Stevenson. Go make the phone call. Stop wasting your time with Tank Davis unless this fight gets booked and you put...
Roach has been stuck on an emotional roller coaster preparing for a world title fight that keeps slipping away. Every time he gets close, a new excuse appears, another delay surfaces, and another wall is thrown up. The latest developments make it harder and harder to believe that Davis will ever return to the ring to face Roach. The longer this drags out, the more it feels like Tank has already made his decision. Roach may still be holding on to hope, but the signs are not just pointing away from the fight, they are screaming it, and the silence from Davis's side only makes that feeling louder. With no confirmation, no statement, and no effort to clear things up, the situation is being seen for what it is. Avoidance in boxing. Actions always speak louder than words, and Davis's lack of action says everything. Gervonta Davis may be walking away from his rematch with Roach, but the conversation around him is only getting louder.
It's hard for me to be rooting for somebody at this moment, man. I'm like, hey, man, I want Tank Davis to win the next fight with Roach, and I want him to do good. But then you hear the breaking news, and he's covering his face. And I'm just like, bro, what are we doing here, man? And on his last fight, you know, with Roach, it was a close one. And I'm telling you, in this type of game that you're dealing with, look, it's already bad enough. Some people don't even box in life. And
even as the uncertainty around Davis versus Roach 2 continues to frustrate both fans and fighters, another storyline is already beginning to take shape. This one features none other than Manny Pacquiao, the Filipino legend and newly inducted Hall of Famer, who at 46 years old is not just returning to the ring, but also calling out Davis for a potential mega fight after taking care of Mario Barrios. Pacquiao is not stepping back for nostalgia or a farewell tour. He is aiming straight at one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport today, and he is not being quiet about it.
Davis is a good fighter. I mean, good fighter, yeah. If he come up to 147, then we can fight. 145 maybe. Oh, that's not a problem for me. I'm experienced.
Pacquiao's immediate focus is on Barrios, a tough, durable opponent who has made a name for himself at welterweight. But Pacquiao is already looking ahead. If he gets past Barrios, he wants Davis, the same Davis who, despite the controversy in his last outing, still holds the WBA lightweight title and brings major star power to any event. Pacquiao told the ring clearly that he likes the Davis fight, but only after Barrios is handled.
Yeah, I feel like that's a bad idea. It's a good money grab, though, but I don't think Pacquiao can handle Tank's power. But, you know, Pacquiao's still a hell of a fighter, you know. Tank don't have 100% KO ratio, so, you know, anything is possible, you know, so it'll be a good one.
It'll be a big one. Pacquiao's been around long enough to know how quickly plans can collapse if you overlook the fight in front of you. But the way he mentioned Davis wasn't just a casual comment. There was real intent behind it. His longtime promoter, Sean Gibbons, didn't shy away either. He spelled it out clearly. If Pacquiao gets past Barrios and Davis handles his business with Roach, the next logical move is a showdown between two of the biggest names still active in the sport.
Basically, your interpretation is that the boxing public is upset because they believe Pacquiao's going to beat Barrios, which is going to lead to a Tank Pacquiao fight?
Yes, look around. Look in the Discord. That's what everybody, Pac and Tank, that's being set up.
Oh,
Tank
so,
and Pac.
okay, so they saying Barrios is the setup for Tank and Pac. I didn't see that, but your argument makes sense. If he beats Barrios, there's nothing wrong with him fighting.
According to Gibbons, Davis is the biggest draw in American boxing today, and putting him in the ring with Pacquiao would be a promoter's dream, pure box office gold. But Gibbons also highlighted something most people overlook. For once, Pacquiao would actually have the size advantage. Throughout his legendary career, Manny has almost always been the smaller man, giving up height, reach, or sheer physicality. Against Davis, that dynamic flips. He'd be the bigger fighter stepping in.
Manny, they keep mentioning Gervonta Davis. They keep talking about Gervonta Davis as a possible fight, Manny. You like that fight? Because he's little, like, he's your size.
I like that. I like that. I mean, I like that, but you know, let's finish first this one because this one is a taller champion like that. So I have
Gibbons revealed that talks for a Davis fight had already happened once before, but at the time, the stars didn't align. Bad timing, and some key disagreements shut the door. Now, with both fighters standing at intriguing crossroads in their careers, that door might be opening again. Gibbons isn't dealing in hypotheticals anymore, he's outlining a real path. If Pacquiao beats Barrios and Davis takes care of business against Roach, everything falls into place. But that's where things get messy. Davis handling his business is no longer a given. The rematch with Roach is stuck in limbo. The contract still isn't signed. Legal issues are swirling. The original August 16th date? Dead. No one knows if or when it'll be rebooked. And that complicates things for Pacquiao. Gibbons openly admitted that Davis's shaky showing in the first Roach fight took some of the shine off his image. In fact, he didn't mince words. He said Davis was exposed. For the first time in a long time, fans saw vulnerability. And if Roach had gotten more help from the referee, the story could have looked even worse.
Anyway, when you beat Barrios, what's next? Are you going to fight Ryan Garcia, Haney, Lopez, Gervonta Davis? Are you ready to go through these fights?
one at a time.
But you want those guys.
We'll see. We'll see. I always I gonna say after this I'm going to fight like that, but one at a time. After the fight, we can see, we can talk like.
Because in round 9 of their last fight, Roach dropped Davis to a knee with a stiff jab. It wasn't ruled a knockdown, but anyone watching knows what they saw. It was clean, it was sharp, and it was real. A moment like that changes scorecards. It changes narratives. Yes, Davis got up and kept fighting, but it doesn't erase the fact that Roach had him hurt. And for critics like Tim Bradley, it just confirmed what they've been saying all along. Bradley didn't pull any punches. On his YouTube channel, while discussing other lightweight matchups like Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda, he suddenly pivoted to Davis, and his words were brutal. He scoffed at the idea of Davis even thinking about Stevenson, saying bluntly, "Tank can't even catch a Roach." It wasn't just a clever jab, it was a direct shot at Davis's recent form and focus. Bradley's point was simple. Before Tank dreams about super fights and calling out legends, he needs to figure out how to deal with the very real challenge standing right in front of him.
Tank did that, so I know the got in his eye, but they should have countered it. They would have countered it, it would have went to Lamont Roach. What I didn't like about Tank, he was gassing up Lamont Roach way too much, and he was already talking about like retiring.
He seemed a little distracted, didn't he, in the fight?
That wasn't the same Gervonta Davis we're really used to seeing.
It just lets you know how corrupt like these governing bodies are, bro. If that dude took a knee, not only did he take a knee, he's like, hold on real quick. Let me get this out of my eye. How is that not a point? Like,
you know, funny thing, bro, that's why I cut.
Bradley didn't hold back. He pointed out that Roach isn't intimidated by Davis's power, not even a little. In fact, he believes Roach is walking into the potential rematch with more confidence than ever. And that's dangerous to T.O. Bradley. The real problem isn't in Davis's hands, it's in his head. There's too much noise outside the ring. Too many distractions. Too much baggage. And if the rematch does happen, Bradley believes all of that will show up under the lights. And Bradley isn't just another voice in the crowd. He's a former world champion who's been through the wars. He knows the look of a fighter who's mentally checked out, and in his eyes, Davis is already halfway gone. But here's the twist. While Davis stalls, Roach is moving forward. He's not just sitting around hoping. He's setting the stage for his next challenge, and it's massive. Lamont Roach Jr. has started aiming at none other than Shakur Stevenson, the undefeated WBC lightweight kingpin, who just put on a clinic against William Zepeda. Shakur didn't just win. He dominated. And now, Roach wants in, because Stevenson isn't just a champion. He's a technician. A fighter who makes elite opponents look ordinary. And Roach knows that if he's going to rise to the top, he has to chase the best, and right now, Stevenson is the benchmark.
Some of your 135 contemporaries have a lot to say these days. Shakur Stevenson, well, of course, he's now 135 after all that stuff, and then Devin Haney.
Right. So why people even talk like he the best at? He didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 30, or none of that.
He is good.
Okay. How can you? All that's just okay.
Roach wants that fight, and more importantly, Shakur Stevenson wants it too. After his dominant win, Stevenson didn't waste any time. He hit social media and called it what it is. a hell of a skillful matchup. He even promised that they'd share the ring one day. Roach reposted it, making it crystal clear he's ready when Shakur is in a division stacked with names. This is one of those rare matchups where both fighters bring elite-level technical ability. It might not have the spectacle of a Davis headliner, but for boxing purists, it's a dream fight. Footwork, timing, defense, ring IQ. The kind of battle that reminds fans why they fell in love with the sport in the first place. And now, Roach finds himself in a strange crossroads. On one side, he's still waiting on a rematch that was promised but never signed. On the other, he's being pulled into a potential super fight with arguably the most skilled boxer in the division. The Davis fight was supposed to be the crown jewel, the biggest moment of his career. But the longer it stays in limbo, the more it feels like Roach may leave it behind. And with Shakur Stevenson holding that door wide open, can you really blame him?
After I beat Tank, I'm fighting the winner of Devin Haney and Brian Norman. There you go. I'm not going to say it again. Y'all can clip it. Y'all can do whatever. That's what I'm doing. Heard it here first. W. Roach. Grave diggers forever.
Meanwhile, Manny Pacquiao is deep in camp, and he's not training like a man on a farewell tour. He's moving, punching, and pushing like someone who still believes he belongs at the top of the sport. His focus is on Mario Barrios for now, but his vision is already locked on Gervonta Tank Davis. Not for a payday, not for nostalgia, but to make a statement that legends don't just fade away, they find new mountains to climb. And if the Davis versus Roach rematch completely collapses, that could kick the door wide open for Pacquiao versus Davis. A generational clash. A fight that sells itself. A moment that would draw everyone from hardcore purists to casual fans who haven't watched in years that it's more than just a fight. It could define the final chapter of two careers heading in completely different directions. One legend proving he still got it. One star trying to hold on to his shine. But what do you think? Does the Davis Roach rematch still have a heartbeat, or is the boxing world already shifting its focus to Pacquiao, Tank? Let us know in the comments.